Hey, friends. Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host, Nicole, for some hope-filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey, Hallmarkies. Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, and today I'm very excited to welcome back the wonderful Andrew Walker. And before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that my first interview with you is my most watched episode. You are definitely a fan favorite. Thank you
Oh,
for being on the podcast today.
oh, that's nice. That's nice to hear. Thanks.
Yes,
Thank you, Nicole, for
yes,
always having me and the
of
support. And
course. Yes.
thank you, everybody, for listening. I really appreciate it.
And you are definitely one of my favorite guests.
Oh, thanks, Nicole.
Had on. Of
Thank you very much. It means a lot to me.
course. You've had a lot going on since we last spoke. Four of your films premiered on Hallmark, a couple of the Curious Caterer films, A Safari Romance, and Christmas Island. In addition to your acting work, you've teamed up with Envy Apples, attended Christmas Con, and I remember seeing your Instagram post where you've done some traveling. So tell me about Envy Apples. That sounds interesting. What's that all about?
Yeah. There's a long and a short story. I'll give you the short one, and maybe elaborate a little more as I go along. But I Envy had had come to me 2 years ago. Um, they were they had I have a branding agent, and she reached out to myself, and my manager, and she goes, "I have this Apple company that says that you're the apple of the Hallmark viewer's eye, and they want to partner with you." And I said, I was like, apples, like just like you know the fruit. And she's like, yeah. And so I was already a consumer of Envy. So she goes, yeah, it's called Envy. I was like, no way. I love Envy apples. I've been buying them at Whole Foods for the past 6 months. And I'm pretty particular about my apples, having the juice company and whatnot. Um, and it's the same company that does Jazz apples as well. So I don't know if you're
Okay.
familiar with Jazz. Envy is another brand of theirs, and it's basically Gala and Brayburn apple fused together. So it's got
Oh,
the sweetness of the Gala and a little bit of the tartness of the Brayburn, and so yeah, I've been fortunate enough to be a spokesperson of theirs now for um, close to 2 years, and I just signed on another year with them,
that's
and so there'll
awesome.
be a lot more stuff coming out with Envy apples over the next year.
That's awesome. I think
Yeah.
I've definitely heard of it. I don't know if I've ever had Envy apples, but I've definitely heard of it. And that's pretty
They're
cool.
amazing. They're so good, and they there's no they're not no genetically they're not genetically modified. They have a conventional and they have an organic line of Envy, but they don't brown, which is very interesting for
That's
kids.
good. Yeah.
They have this like crispness and flavor and sweetness to them. But they also, when you cut them open, it takes like 10 hours for it to brown. So it's
Um,
great for kids' lunches and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I love apples. And as they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
That's
Yeah.
it.
One of my favorite fruits.
Yeah, me too. Me too, funny enough. I
Yeah.
kind of like regained a love for them in
Yeah.
my 40s.
Yeah. Apples, pineapples, bananas. Yeah. I think those are three of my favorites.
Yeah. Good list.
Yes. What do you like better, Christmas Con or Rama Drama?
I mean, they're different. I can't say what I
Yeah.
like better.
I know it's hard to
Not
pick. I
It's
had to
just
ask.
yeah, and it's not. They're just they're two completely different,
Yeah.
types of meet and greets for people.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
Christmas Con is more of a there's a lot more numbers. There are a
Hmm.
lot more people. Uh, it's more of a traditional con. If people have been to Comic Cons or whatever.
Hmm.
Whereas Rama Drama is a little bit more curated, and they keep the numbers a little lower. I think the price point's a little higher because of that reason.
Mm.
So you get a little bit more time, with the talent. Yeah, just two completely different
Yeah.
conventions.
Yeah.
Both of them are great for their own particular reasons.
I know it's hard to pick between the two. I've never been to Christmas Con, but I've heard it's a lot of fun as well. So
Yeah,
one
yeah.
day I'll be able to go.
One day, come check it out.
Yes. A Safari Romance was shot on location in South Africa and Christmas Island in Nova Scotia. Do you enjoy location shooting, and what are some of the challenges that go along with it?
I love location shooting and you know, I'm I've always wanted to try to follow in Lacey's footsteps in being the destination male because
Yeah.
she gets to go to all these great places as a female. She's shooting in Ireland and all these other places, these other great destinations. And so, um, yeah, you when you shoot in a location, I'm always up in Vancouver. That's which I love. I love Vancouver for its reasons. I'm a big outdoors guy and whatnot, but
Mhm.
we're shooting in a lot of the same locations here, and I'm sure as viewers notice, there's a lot of the same places that you might notice in a lot of these movies. So just being able to get out of Vancouver is so nice, and obviously South Africa, like these, like a movie like Safari Romance, you couldn't do it with blue screen, right? It just
No.
get
Yeah.
the same effect. And Leif Bristow is this big adventure guy. Leif is the producer, and his wife Agnes wrote it. Brittany Bristow's parents, and they're just awesome people. And Leif is just this like super adventurous, uh, you know, uh, he loves shooting guerrilla style. Like he'll move the entire set in a matter of like a few minutes. He'll be like, "All right, move, everybody move, shuffle to the left. We got an elephant in the background, And so it was really cool. It was a great experience having shot a lot of indie films, having that kind of be a bit of how the experience of what Safari Romance was like. But in a place like South Africa, and I think one of my favorite things is like Christmas Island, shooting in places like New Brunswick, and there's a place called Lunenburg, and Lunenburg is where it's a lobster, it's a big fish, it's a fisherman's town, and very authentic East Coast Canadian fishermen, and for me it's the people, it's these actors, and you travel. I just got back from shooting a movie in Malta, which is actually going to air in June.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great one. It's like, yeah, it's Indiana Jones basically.
Ooh,
I play the Harrison Ford character in Indiana Jones
that's
basically,
awesome.
uh and so shooting in these places you work with, and Malta's like halfway around the world, and same with, well, from LA, and same with South Africa. Um the actors and the people that are in the business, we've all decided to be, and Nikki Deloach says it great, best. She's like, we're all in the circus, and everyone is, and we're all here. We show up on set. We're all doing the same thing that we do in Vancouver or anywhere else in the world, but it's just with different people that have found this love for what they do. And it's just it's in a totally different place in the world, and we're all passionate about creating and telling stories um, and connection. Because I think acting is and telling these stories is all about connecting with the people in front of you and connecting with the people around you, and especially Hallmark movies. With that centerpiece of being, it's all about heart and connection and joy and escapism. And so, we're all there telling this story together, and it's different cultures and different people growing up in a completely different part of the world, but we're connected, and so that's one of my favorite things about working abroad.
That's awesome. Of course, I love the movies on Hallmark that aren't on location, but there's just something about the actual on location movies that's special.
Yeah, you can't deny they're undeniable. You're in that. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing in Safari Romance, it was all real animals, from
Hmm.
the leopards and the
Yeah.
the lions and the white lions and everything. We were all around them. So it obviously affects you in a certain way as well as the actor. You're performing with an elephant behind you, and it's in the wild. We're not at a safari park, or
Mm-hmm.
like an American safari park. We're in the middle of the wild. So um yeah, it affects us as the performers, and it emulates through to the viewers, I guess.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite parts of Safari Romance was learning about all the culture of South Africa. And then I think one of my favorite scenes was when your character, Tim, and then Brittany's character, Megan, saw the white lion. That was a great scene. Great
Oh
moment.
yeah. Yeah, that's a authentic,
Yeah.
reaction. Where
Yes.
and then same with the cheetah jumping on the hood of the car.
Yes.
Like this is
That was another
like,
favorite.
oh, I can't believe this is happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Christmas Island, I think my favorite scene, or one of my top favorite scenes, was the lobster trap tree lighting.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And
I
how
never even knew that was a thing until I was
I
there
didn't
shooting.
either. Yeah. But it was
Yeah.
beautiful. All the
And
locations.
like in Safari Romance, the Boma, the Braai that we were at, where there was the dancers,
Yeah.
and we're out having this outdoor,
Yeah.
it's an enclosed area in the park, and they call it a Boma, which is like a barbecue, or like a braai is a barbecue, but the Boma is the actual the 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 area that you have that you eat it, like where you eat in the picnic
Yeah.
area, or the dinner area. And so I never knew that was a thing until
I didn't
I was
either.
there doing it.
Yeah, it was awesome. Two great movies from 2023.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Malta one for people to
Yes,
see. This
I am
this
too.
this is great.
This coming Friday, we are all looking forward to the fourth installment of Curious Caterer. I watched the trailer for Foiled Plans, and I can't wait to see it. The setting is a costume party set in medieval times. Do you like costume parties?
Yes. I love costume parties. I thrive in costume parties.
Yeah, they're
Uh
fun. Yeah,
yeah, one of my favorite holidays is Halloween.
it's
And
always fun to dress up. Yeah.
yeah, it's great. It's great. And my wife has jumped on board as well. Reluctantly, she's not the one to be dressing up in the couple, but but yeah, no, it was such a great experience. I mean, to be able to dress up every day, and also selfishly to only have one outfit to get to wear
Um,
throughout the entire movie. It's not like I'm doing wardrobe changes. I I don't dislike much, but I don't like changing 6 times in my day between scenes. I'm just like, oh, I gotta take this pants off. I don't like trying clothes on. So I'm the
totally.
guy that shops. I go to the store and I'll just pick something up and put it up to my top and be like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, think it'll work.
We're in a couple of the early episodes of When Calls the Heart, which is a period piece. Is it fun doing wardrobes from different eras?
Yeah, it's amazing. You're immediately like, I think, you do your pre-prep before you jump on a project, but I feel like you're only really it's capped off, and I think that you really like can embody who you are, who this person is, by the nuance of wardrobe and jewelry, and if it's a hat you're wearing, whatever it is. But I think that you're somehow jumping into the skin
Yeah.
of this person. So I love costumes and wardrobe, and it's such an important piece to telling the story.
Yeah. I always love period pieces as well.
Yeah.
And what would be your favorite wardrobe era? Whether it's medieval or turn of the century or anything else?
I would have to say my favorite wardrobe era would be the 50s. It would be, it's a lot, right? Because
Yeah.
everyone's wearing the three-piece suits and they
Yeah.
got the hats and
Hmm.
canes and everybody, but there was something about that time where people
Hmm.
just really cared about what they wore. I also love disco era.
This goes
And when
fun
you
too.
talk about costume parties, we've had a couple disco parties at our house, Cassandra and I, and we got a disco ball and we're like, hey, everybody, like dress up. This is like we got to dress to the nines. We got to make this be a thing. And it's amazing what people will do and what how it changes who they are
Yeah.
when
It's
they and
fun.
my non-actor friends, how it's like they're a different person. You put them in this like disco garb. It's awesome.
It is fun. I think mine would probably be a toss up between the turn of the century. So when calls the heart times, on the frontier,
Mhm.
or the 50s, like you said, which is funny.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love all the wardrobe from the 50s. Like Grease is one of my favorite
Oh,
musicals.
yeah. Yeah.
Love all the costumes in that too.
Yeah.
At the end of Fatal Vows, we see that Tom asks Goldie to dinner. Are we about to see a romance develop between the two of them in Foiled Plans?
Um, Well, Fatal Vows, you did. Hopefully, people saw that there was
Yeah.
romance developing in that movie as well. Probably not as quickly as what viewers had hoped it would be. But yes, you can absolutely expect this love story to move forward. And it's something that Nikki and I talked about when we were given this series. Like, people don't want to just have another, or maybe they do, have another Andrew Walker, Nikki DeLoach movie. We want to let's slow play this because we have the ability to really draw this out and develop these characters slowly, but always move it along and hopefully dive deeper into their own individual lives and each character. Every the supporting cast as well. But but yes, you can expect definitely this love story to move forward.
I'm so excited. And of course, I love the two of you together. You are one of my favorite Hallmark pairings
Thank
of
you.
all time,
Thank you.
of course.
She's my favorite.
Yes. What do you love most about working with Nikki?
I mean, look, if things have changed
Yeah.
now as we've been able to work together so much, but I feel like from day one, when Nikki and I first started working together, we had this familiarity with each other. It was just so strange. We're like, were we a brother and sister or a couple in a past life or something, um, and so she has and her journey, is so inspiring, what she's had to go through with her youngest and and just being a mom in general, her mothering skills and her and who the partner she is with Ryan. And I'm really close with her husband. He's my entertainment attorney. He's an amazing guy. They're an inspiring couple, and she's become really good friends with my wife. So now that's kind of how things have changed. We know each other, our families know each other so well now. So there's, of course, another level of familiarity when we work together. But from the get-go, it was that. And also she excites me in her preparation and how she approaches things. And I think we're very similar in the way that we come from athletic backgrounds, and we can we prepare for projects very similarly, and we work with the same acting coach now, who's actually Nikki's writing partner, Megan McNulty, and so now it's all about just Nikki and I doing what we do in our preparation and our work together to try to bring the fans something, continue to improve on what we've built and what we've been giving the fans for years. We just kind of try to, enhance that in every way possible.
Yes. And I think it plays very well on screen. The dynamic between the two of you is fantastic. Always.
Thank you. Thank you. It's easy to act with her. She's amazing.
Yes, she is.
She's so connected, and she has my back and I have hers, and we know that about each other. And yeah.
Can you share more about the movie than what the trailer gives us? Was there anything fun or interesting that happened during filming?
Well, I think the trailer, you kind of get the gist of what's
Hmm.
happening in the
Yeah.
trailer. It's a masquerade ball. There are a few murders that happen. We are
Hmm.
stuck in this castle, which is
Hmm.
the castle is the same castle they shot X-Men in, which was pretty interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, in
That's
Victoria.
really
I never
cool.
actually knew that this was the castle. I didn't think it was shot in Canada, but
That's
it's the move where they shot X-Men, and just incredible castle.
Mhm.
Again on location, right? You wouldn't get that normally anywhere else, but the if the walls could talk, they're they would tell, they'd have great stories to tell. So I think it's also just, the love story progressing, and what's interesting now is, as we have this series that we're able to work on, as opposed to a one-off, is that we're able to go deeper into all of the
Mhm.
supporting casts stories now, and like you're learning a little bit more about Marla, and you're learning a little bit more about Mason, and so it's and it's how all of these characters, and you're also learning about the town, you're also learning about it's opening up more to more characters, is opening up the story to more more people in the town that make the town what it is. And so, but basically it's, yeah, this is just, it's a super, uh when you talk about escape, this movie is going to take you away, and it brings that fun element of a costume party, and everybody is kind of like, there's that uncomfortable, because Tom is not necessarily that comfortable in dressing up. Andrew is, but Tom not so much, and so he feels a little silly. But then, then he has to then he has to fall into his line of work, his line of duty, as he's dressed up with Mason. And so there's all these fun little
Mhm.
quirks and whatnot that happen, as we try to solve these murders in our wardrobe, in this one place that nobody can leave because of this storm that's happening outside. And
Oh, there's a storm.
yeah, there's a snowstorm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited to see it. I think it'll be the best one yet. They just keep getting better and better.
I know, that's our hope, right? That's
Yes.
all what we want to give to the fans. We want to make
Yeah.
sure that they're improving. Each one is improving. And I think Michael Goldstein and yeah, Costa, his partner, the producers of this, I think they're doing a great job at elevating each story and working with great writers, and we're fortunate to be a part of it.
And the supporting cast is fantastic. JC and Riley. Riley always has me cracking up. I'm not even joking.
It's this movie, as much as Nikki and I love working together, we wouldn't be doing we wouldn't this movie wouldn't be what it is without our supporting cast. I feel like we are, like, arguably, there's a lot of great mysteries out there, and I think, like, that's something that I have to give Hallmark kudos to, and Lisa Hamilton Daly, who's the head of development there. She's really made it her mission to elevate stories, and to give people the best quality stories, look and story wise, that she can. Like, look at their new series,
Mhm.
The Way Home.
Yes, the way
It's
home is.
amazing. Like,
Yeah.
who would have thought that Hallmark would be doing that 3-4 years ago? And so, um, she's made it her mission to bring these and different stories as well, like Paul Campbell's cases.
Yes, that's great. Yeah.
It's
I love
great, and Paul is who he is in that movie. We have more of it's more of a darker, a little more. It's not well, I wouldn't even want to call Paul's a cozy mystery. It's like it's comedy in a way. There's like this comedic, because he's a comedic genius,
that.
Paul Campbell.
Yeah.
For us, it's more mysterious and darker, and But Riley brings this,
Yeah.
like I would say our supporting cast is the best
Mm.
out there. Like the
Yeah.
JC's, Lachlan Monroe's. We're so
Lachlan's great
fortunate.
too.
Yeah, Lachlan, like they call Lachlan the Kevin Bacon of Canada. He's
I could
worked with
really see that.
everybody. The guy has stories like you wouldn't believe. He has,
Mm.
these quips and stories
Yeah.
and things that he tells on set that just you just want to be a fly in the wall when you work with
Yeah.
Lachlan.
Lachlan's fantastic. I know him from Riverdale. That's where I first saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't stop working and he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
And
He does.
we have too much fun on set.
Yeah. I remember the one scene with, I think it was Tom and Mason. I feel like it was in the third one, Fatal Vows, when y'all were in the hotel room and he was looking at the towels in the shape of the
Yeah, yeah,
dogs.
yeah.
I was cracking up. That
I know.
scene,
Yeah, he's
rolling on the
amazing.
floor.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
great, great,
he's
fantastic
great.
guy. Yes. What is your favorite classic mystery?
What's my favorite classic mystery? I grew up on the Pink Panthers,
I've seen
the
a couple of those.
original, the Inspector Clouseau,
Mhm.
Peter Sellers days. I would say, from that all the way through to, I don't know if you'd call it mystery, but it's mystery. Like I love the Mission Impossibles. Like I love Tom Cruise, and I just watched the newest one on an airplane. Um, yeah, just you got to give Tom
Mhm.
Cruise the respect he deserves, man. He's an unbelievable actor and so convincing in every single role he takes on. And so I just yeah, I think for comedy and and creativity, I think the Pink Panthers and I think what Tom Cruise like the Mission Impossibles now are so fun to watch.
I don't know if I've actually ever seen any of those, but I have seen a couple of the Pink Panthers, and those are great.
They're great.
Yeah.
They're great.
I think Nancy Drew is probably one of my favorites. I grew up on Nancy
And
Drew.
do you know what I also oh you did, yeah?
Yeah.
And what I used to watch it all the time as a kid. She Wrote. I
That plays
loved
on Hallmark every
Murder
night.
She Wrote. Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it when growing up, but I haven't seen it in years. But
I've seen a couple
um,
episodes, but not
yeah,
all the way through. But it's great. And Angela Lansbury is just fantastic. So,
she's fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are the future plans for Curious Caterer? Are more episodes in the works?
Uh, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say on this, but
If you can't say much, it's okay.
the plans are look, it's all based on numbers, and so
Yeah.
hopefully fans respond well to foiled plans. And from what we hear, our numbers are great and people love the series. So hopefully we're going to continue to bring people more and more
Yeah.
and
Fingers
keep
crossed.
getting better and better. And yeah.
Looking ahead, what is on the plate for Andrew Walker? You mentioned your movie in Malta coming up in June. Is there anything else you can share?
Well, I know I'm bringing people a Christmas movie this year. So I'll be for sure I'll have a Christmas movie, and I have this Malta project that I'm so excited for people to see. I think our air date is June 8th right now
Okay.
for the Malta project, but just, I'll be popping
Yeah.
it up on social media when I find out the date. And no, I mean that as of right now, that's pretty well it. Christmas, Malta, Curious Caterer.
Yep.
That's my year.
Great 2024, and I'm excited to see your other movies along with Curious Cater as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
By the way, my family loves your Little West juices. How is the juice business going?
It's going well. I mean, my wife and I, we sold it a couple of years ago. So we haven't been, it's, it's, it was our baby, but we let it fly, and It's doing its thing. I'm not, I started a new business. I started a new business a few months ago. Uh, well, the official launch is going to be June 1st, but we did a soft launch a couple months ago. It's called Skin Mason. It's a men's skincare brand. Women can use it too. Uh, Everyone's skin is the same. But it's basically a, 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 a very easy to use, because men are idiots when it comes to skincare. So we have a 1 on our exfoliating pads, and we have a 2 on our serum. But it's basically just a 1-2. It's the system is just 2 products, and I use it every single day. I was trying to find something to use on set, because when you're done your day, I hate coming home. Like I put a hot towel on my face. I take my makeup off. But then when I come home, I don't want to wash my face. It's just an extra step when I'm tired after a long day. And I think most guys, and now, talking to girls as well, I don't think my wife, she says she loves her skincare routine. She's now stolen my which I gladly, and I'm very happy, and it's a testament to what we've created. But she uses my skincare now, and it's so I'm really excited about it. It's yeah, skinmason.com. You can check it out. And that's my new passion project, my new baby.
That's
And
awesome.
I started it with a doctor here in Vancouver, and we got a lot of great people behind us. It's an amazing formulator that created our formulation. And I would arguably say it's one of the best serums on the market. And we have this, and I mean, honestly, it's incredible serum. And our exfoliating wipes are just, they're a mild acid exfoliating wipe that nourishes the skin, rebuilds collagen. It's incredible.
That's awesome. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, check it out.
Definitely. At the end of my interviews, I always ask my guest to share an inspiring quote or piece of advice. Do you have a great quote or piece of advice you'd like to share?
It's coming at a time, I guess, this would resonate, has been resonating with me. I had read this thing a while ago saying that um change is hard, and whether it's good or bad, if you're leaving a job, if you're leaving a relationship, if whatever it is that you're doing, to to transition out of something is difficult, but with transition comes beautiful things, and you learn so much about yourself. And why I say it's coming at a time is because my wife and I have been talking about potentially leaving LA for a bit, and living in the woods,
Oh,
going
wow.
up, and just like I've been really craving, because my boys are, they're my 8-year-old is already 8, and I we're trying to slow things down as much as possible, but also ground ourselves as much as possible. I think we're in the best place. Our house in LA is incredible. We love our neighbors. We love our community of people, our parents, the friends that we've created there. But temporarily, we're thinking about potentially moving, and kind of living a little bit off the grid, but close enough to a school that our kids can still be at the same language school that they're in right now, French school. Um, and so yeah, so I'm in like a transition period right now, thinking of picking up and maybe trying something else out, or a different place to live. And so I'd say transitions are tough, but I think beautiful things come from transitions, and I think I'm
Very
I'm
true.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what my next one is, because I think you should always be in transition, whatever it is, right? Like, wake up the next day and it's a new day. You have a new chance at like creating something exciting and new, and changing that, like, you're changing your voice in your head of what you think you've always been, right? So
That's very true. And I know that too because I went to an all-girls school for 10 years from kindergarten to ninth grade, and then I transferred to a co-ed school. But at first I was not happy, but I think that is one of the best things that could have
that could
ever
have happened to you at that time.
happened. Yes.
Look at that.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was so scary, right?
It was, yeah, because
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been at the same school for 10 years and I did not want to leave my friends, but I'm glad that I changed schools.
Yeah, no, I think like yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much good can come from that. And they say the bigger the transition, the scarier it is, but the bigger that the opportunity is for you,
Yeah, very true.
the growth.
Yeah, very true. I've really enjoyed having you on the podcast again today. The first time you were here, Nikki was with you for part of that episode. Be sure to tell her I said hello, and I'm looking forward to World Plans.
I will for sure.
Of course.
Thanks
And
so
thank you
much. I
again.
really appreciate always. Thank you.
Of course.
And enjoy Full Plans, everybody.
Yes. All right.
Woo-hoo!
Woo! I'm excited. All right, Hallmarkies, I think that wraps up my interview with Andrew Walker. If you enjoyed this episode, you can like this video. If you want to stay up to date on all of my movie reviews and interviews, you can subscribe to this channel and make sure to turn on the bell so you are alerted when new episodes come. And be sure to check out World Plans, premiering next Friday, April 26th on Hallmark Mystery. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.